Welcome to Professionally Unprofessional on camera for once, because it would coincide with the Axia Christmas party.
Yeah.
Joined once again by my good friends Reese and Elliot.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I'm sorry, folks. Not only do you have to hear Calvin's monologue, you have to now watch Sean stuff while he does it.
So, a few things happen. December's usually a quiet month for gaming. This month, not really much different. A bunch of stuff we didn't play that came out. Power Rangers Ria's Rewind. I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Same, I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
I don't care about it.
I haven't played as much of some of the games we've also done. We also came out, but we have a couple of November holdovers to talk about. So we'll start. So if you're here just for Marvel Rivals content, we're a couple of games in. We're going to do that one then. So we'll start with. Should we start with Lego Horizons? Because I think Elliot's really going to contribute with the Dragon Quest one.
It's the only one I can contribute with.
So
it's the only one I fucking played.
So let's do Lego Horizons first. So you played it on PS5.
Yep, I got the platinum for it.
Of course you did.
I played a little bit of it.
I have not. I have not played it.
You didn't miss much.
It doesn't really interest me.
Well, let's put it this way, I managed to get the platinum in 11 hours.
And also, do you want some? I do know something about it. Turns out, so worse than Concord originally.
That's only on Steam.
Yeah, still counts.
I don't know.
Well, no, because the majority, this game is aimed at Lego players and young children. Most 3+-year-olds don't have a Steam account.
I'm still counting it.
I-
It's a bigger fail than Concord on Steam. I'm counting it. A lot of kids are PC players.
I don't think Sony does view it though as a fail, because if they put it on Steam just as a let's see if it sells something there.
Yeah.
It's saying, whereas that's why the Switch got the deal, because the Switch is. Which, by the way, it's really weird to see a Switch cartridge with a PlayStation Studios logo on it.
I still laugh when if during rumors beforehand people were seeing, oh my god, Horizon's coming to Switch, and there was a reveal. I was like, what?
I was more surprised. I'd heard about Lego Horizons, but I was more surprised to find a Switch version had been made. I assumed it would just be PlayStation and PC.
So
Did we have any sales figures on how it sold on PlayStation?
not yet.
That's surprising. So it probably didn't sell quite as well as Sony was liking.
Well, most Lego games don't normally sell well anyway. And this is a Lego game of an IP that's pretty recent and a lot of people haven't embraced.
Put it this way, the last Lego game I bought was Lego Dimensions.
Which I only bought because I had the crossover of Sonic the Hedgehog.
That was one factor. I also had a friend who worked on the game, so I felt obligated to help them out. Get some stuff.
No,
Yeah, you've met them.
Fictional characters don't count.
They've been on one of our streams.
Oh, it's Ren.
Anyway, the thing for me with Lego Horizons was I looked at it and went, this is all right, but it's not. I don't feel like Horizon is an IP that suits the Lego crossover as well as some of the others.
Yeah, this really felt just as a way to bridge the original game and to get out to more younger kids to build up hype for the other games in the trilogy.
Yeah,
Not even a trilogy.
Well, it's going to be. The film was in development now.
Okay, well, it counts if you count the remaster.
No, because we've got the original, Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, and we've got the third film game in development.
Guerrilla is working on the third one. And also there's another game, the VR one.
Yeah, Call of the Mountain, was it?
Yeah, I played it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it this way: you can technically count The Last of Us as a quintet if you view the remasters.
Yeah, which is why I don't count the Horizon remaster as a new entry.
But the other thing it has in common with The Last of Us,
Sony won't stop milking it for what it's worth.
That, and they both have had failures to get multiplayer games up and running, because apparently that multiplayer Horizon game's been abandoned.
Yeah, because it was in development for I think 3+ years.
I keep telling you, do not get people who don't know how to make multiplayer games to make multiplayer games. It's not going to work out.
Yep.
I'll tell you right now, on this one though, I don't think it controls badly. I think it controls fine.
Yeah,
I like
the PlayStation 5 version runs at 60 FPS solid. I didn't have any drops.
No, I don't have any drops either.
Yeah.
I liked the sort of the town building mechanics.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, but it was very lacking compared to what I thought it was going to be from that trailer.
Can't be any worse than the Atomic Gun as a signed one.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
That one was terrible. Generally so underdeveloped.
And that should have been. And the difference is, Horizon doesn't have a town building mechanic in either of their games, either the previous entry. Atomic Reincarnated as a Slime has town building in its core part of its IP.
I mean, as I keep saying, all the isekai protagonists are playing Dynasty Warriors. Rimuru is playing Civ.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. So can I'll be honest, Reese. Lego Horizons really did not impress me that much.
Yeah, it didn't impress me either. That's why I scored it quite low.
Yeah, but it was the thing. What was your score again?
6.2.
You get 6.2. I would have gone a bit higher. I would have gone 7.
No, in my opinion, there just wasn't enough combat or length to the game.
But at least you kept up your track record. You now have a platinum in every Horizon game except the VR one.
Yes. And no, I will not be buying a VR headset just to get it.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you my VR headset and you can do it on my PS5 at some point. Every time you just check a little bit at it.
Yeah.
I was. It is weird. I think. What do you think Sony's plans for Horizon? This is something you can contribute here, Elliot. What do you think Sony's plans for Horizon are going forward now the multiplayer game's been abandoned and this hasn't quite been the splash they were hoping for? Because I don't think this is going to introduce a younger audience to Horizon.
Well, they're just going to make Horizon 3.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, I feel like all the others were just sort of side projects.
They are apparently working on a TV series as well.
Of course. Well, because The Last of Us was award-winning.
Yeah, The Last of Us did very well for... But that's the thing with all these things. If people say, why do this? But Sony just needs to throw a whole bunch of these at the wall, and whichever one sticks, they've got it. Like, let's take the live service stuff, for example. None of them really stuck. Lo and behold, Helldivers 2 stuck. We got our live service game.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter that all these other ones failed. We got the one that worked. Or again, TV series. We got 2 that succeeded: Twisted Metal and
Last of Us.
We're fine. Doesn't matter if God of War Amazon doesn't succeed or the episode of Secret Levels that's coming out next week succeeds or not. We got the ones that succeeded.
Yeah.
I still think it's bullshit if they decide to start off with the Nord era of God of War.
I would say you could make it work if you did it like Arrow and you had like 2 storylines going on at once, like a flashback storyline and a current storyline.
No, because they're both very different stories.
The same in Arrow. They're very different stories that are going on.
Yeah.
They often will maybe slightly connect towards the end of the series, but they are often so like. In season 2 of Arrow, you get that slow build up to how there's a rift drawn between Green Arrow and Deathstroke, and then by the end of season 2, it builds to Deathstroke, the second confrontation between Deathstroke and Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I think you could do that. Especially, it would especially mean it would connect quite well with, say, Kratos' flashback to Athena showing up. Which is still one of the best moments in those 2 games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Him nerfing the Blades of Chaos. What do you? I mean, if I was actually picking any Sony series I'd like to see get the TV show treatment, I'd pick Sly Cooper.
Nah.
Well, it really depends on how well they'll be able to do the animation.
If you got really good, like say you got the team who did the recent Ninja Turtles movie, the animation in that's really good. So why not?
Well, that's the thing though. Comparison of a film, one singular film, to a full TV series.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, you could get if you really wanted to boast about it. I know one studio is up for doing anything. Studio Trigger.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Studio Trigger doing a Sly Cooper series?
Yeah. Well, they surprised everyone by doing that.
Or a Jack and Daxter one.
Nah.
Well, they surprised everyone by doing that Transformers 40th anniversary short the other few weeks ago.
Jack and Daxter would not work.
What about what would you reckon? What would you like to see? Which Sony franchise would you like to see get TV treatment, Elliot?
Infamous.
Infamous would be quite good actually, and they're not doing much with the franchise at the minute.
Yeah.
There was that rumour for ages we were going to get a new Infamous game, and it never popped up. So I'm wondering where they got that information from.
Yeah, because apparently was that rumour. It was cancelled as Concord developed.
I know.
That's the main rumour.
Way to bet you on the wrong horse with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you another one though. I did find out the Twisted Metal was supposed to get a new game out, but that got cancelled.
Yeah, because we had the TV show with Anthony Mackie in. Apparently it was a success, but not that big of a success.
But I would like him to try Twisted Metal again because I think it will work. So let's move on. I think Dragon Quest III HD 2D.
Yeah.
I was very excited to play this.
I'm a big Dragon Quest fan. I've recently bought Dragon Quest VIII. Haven't had a chance to play it yet though.
What do you think of Dragon Quest III HD 2D?
Very old school.
Yeah, that's my thoughts as well. Although I think, wow, they did not do a lot to
Update.
this
They
game.
pretty much updated the graphics and that's it. They left the game as is. Oh, I guess they also added voice acting.
Yeah, they added voice acting and they added and they but I was surprised they didn't try to expand the story a bit more.
Nah.
I would've-
Here's my thought. Here's my thought process on it. Is they do not change anything. It's very old school, the same level of difficulty, and I fucking respect them for it.
Yeah, I respect him for it, but it doesn't mean I've got to like it.
Now, I do like it. I do actually like it for that. Like, let's compare it to another remake of a game that came out, Pokemon Diamond, Shine and Pearl.
I'll agree.
That was bad because they really dumbed down the difficulty. Mostly because they really dumbed down the difficulty, and that just like really ruins the game. Ruins the game for me because Nintendo seemed to be going on down a pathway of trying to appeal to new fans rather than the old ones. Meanwhile, Dragon Quest is just like, nah, just the old ones.
Yeah.
We just want our current fan base to enjoy this game, and I respect them for it.
Yeah, but the only let's compare. Well, the only other one we could have really done a one-to-one comparison to, sort of, even though it's not really a one-to-one comparison, would be the Live Alive HD 2D remake, which I really liked Live Alive HD 2D. I think it's one of the best games that studio has put out. But and that's also one where they really didn't change much except add voice acting to it, and they added lyrics to the Steel King song.
Didn't they add a new ending?
No, it's not a new ending. That's the ending from the Super Nintendo version, I believe. Obviously, the ending is affected by which hero you choose. You know what? I'm not going to say any more because I don't want to do any spoilers.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's a year-old remake to like a 30-year-old game. You can't just say it.
yeah, but you got to remember, unlike Dragon Quest III, Live Alive had no legal way of buying it and playing it.
Yeah.
Over here up until
Everyone who's really into that game has played it has emulated it.
I'm going to stand.
Let's be honest. People do illegal shit.
Have you? Elliot, here's a question. Have you played Live Alive HD 2D?
I started it. I played like a couple hours of it.
And you didn't get into it, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
See, I really got. That's like I would say that with Dragon Quest, I think they did a pretty good job with the menu interface. Like the battle system is it still holds up quite well.
Yeah.
It's fucking hard than I was expecting.
Yeah. The only mainline Dragon Quest game I play, I will admit, is Dragon Quest 11, and that was an easy game.
Yeah, Dragon Quest 11 is really easy compared to this, but my hope is that this sold well enough they would actually eventually do a Dragon Quest 5 HD 2D.
Yeah.
Which was the Dragon Quest that released on PS2?
8.
8, yeah. Which is what I play the most.
Yeah, I would like a remake of that would be sick actually.
And the thing is, though, we know what the next Dragon Quest project is. It's Dragon Quest 12.
Please, for the love of God, come out.
Well, we hope it's 12. Because how old's that teaser now?
They have. I mean, they have. Yeah.
I think it's 2020 or 2021, so it's like 3 to 4 years since we got that teaser.
In all fairness, we have gotten a lot of side projects since then.
Yeah.
Like, we've gotten Dragon Quest Treasures,
We've got the film.
The Dark Prince.
Yeah.
And of course, but though to be fair, that probably still had its issues from COVID still affecting it now, because that would have started development. That would have been in very early pre-production at that point.
Yeah.
At best. So if anything, that teaser felt more like it was a hiring call for we're making Dragon Quest 12. Do you want a job? Because we're hiring. What do you guys? Which version did you play, by the way, Elliot? I played the Switch version. You play
PS5.
You play on PS5. I think you got the better frame rate than me.
What, is the frame rate bad on Switch?
It runs at a slightly lower frame rate than on.
You don't need a good frame rate for it, though.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say. You don't really need good frame, but it's quite nice.
It's literally a turn-based RPG.
That's why I find it bizarre that they put so much effort into getting the frame rate up on the PlayStation version. Like, it's the same in Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah.
They really upped the frame rate version for the PlayStation 5 version. Like, what was the point of that?
Because you know people will complain.
And they did.
Of course they,
They always will.
What's...
For God's sake, it's a 2D RPG. Get over yourself.
I will be honest though, the fact that I think it was a little too old school for my enjoyment. I don't know about you, Ellie, because I think you enjoyed the game a lot more than I did.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, there's a big difference between you and me. I don't mind grinding.
Yeah.
Quite often when I see a new weapon in store that is way over my budget, I will grind until I can afford at least one of them.
See, what I like to do is I like to do grinding if I'm doing a side quest at the same time, because I like having to feel like I'm getting on with something whilst I'm doing it. And I like it if the battle system is the type of battle system I want to keep doing. That's why I really like grinding in Final Fantasy X, because I love the battle system in Final Fantasy X. And I really like grinding in Metaphor ReFantazio because I really like the battle system. The thing is, the game keeps trying to stop me by putting a time limit on everything I do.
Yeah, you struggled a lot more with the final boss with Metaphor than I did. Do you want to know why? He didn't know you could rest in the Gauntlet Runner, even though Nura said you could at the end.
But I assumed that you wouldn't have to. I assumed you had to do it on the day. That you had to get it all done in one day. I assumed if you
No, he said if you need a rest, come back to the Gauntlet Runner. He actively said that in dialogue.
I assumed there was a negative consequence for doing that.
Then there is. Why would there be? What negative consequence would there be?
Touche. Anywho.
Oh, sorry. Luis has won and destroyed the world because he decided to take a fucking nap.
Sure. So,
I've just still checked, by the way. The trailer for 12 was the 27th of May 2021.
So 2021, May 2021. So it's about 3 years since we had that.
Yeah, it's 3.5 years.
3.5 years. I think we should see a trailer for Dragon Quest 12 next year, if not the year. By the end of 2025, I would imagine we'd see a trailer for Dragon Quest. Like, even if it's just like it's coming in 2026, but they don't have a specific release date for it. I can imagine. Like, I'm not going to say it's going to be at the Game Awards tonight, which, by the way, this episode is coming out after the Game Awards, so we're not doing any predictions.
Yeah.
Because it'd be pointless at this time.
Yeah. Though you can see Calvin seething, wanting to talk about his opinions on it.
No, I'm not going to. I don't like doing predictions for the Game Awards because you get them wrong all the time. Unless I only say I think something's going to be there if I'm.
Every year you do predictions on what the Game of the Year is going on what the nominees for Game of the Year is. Yeah, you always make a fucking big deal out of it.
Yeah. Because I like being. That's like the one time I'm actually good at being clairvoyant.
Mate, the thing is, you always make a big deal out of it. You're talking to a fucking brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Moving swiftly on.
I like that it's very old school. Very old school. I kind of enjoy the grinding, and especially like that you can like change your tactics, so like your allies don't have to follow orders. You can just get them to fight on their own.
I like that. Yeah, I did like that. The one thing I don't really like though is it. I feel like they didn't. I don't think they quite. Even though they had voice acting, I don't think they added quite as much personality to it as it probably deserved for a remake.
Yeah, that's true. Though at the same time, a lot of the voice acting is mostly from like sort of quick one-note characters that you don't really see again.
But
it's kind of similar to, I guess, Sea of Stars. The difference is I don't mind it here because again, NES, old school, that stuff. Sea of Stars was like new.
Yeah, and there's only one character of any personality in that entire game.
Whereas compared to like a Horizon, we talked about before, they had full voice acting in the entire game, which is good because it also brought back the original cast.
Yeah.
Whereas Dragon Quest, it didn't have an original cast to bring back.
Yeah, so they just had to get new people.
Yeah.
So, well, obviously they didn't get the entire old cast back. Rest in peace, Lance Hendrick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead, it was by Tim Roth, who played Tuvok in Voyager.
Oh yeah, no, Tim Roth would be a very good replacement.
Yeah.
What about? Okay, so I think the one thing I will say about it is, though, it looks like all the HD 2D games. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful looking game.
It's such a versatile and amazing engine.
It really is. Yeah.
I do like that they don't go too far with it though. Like I feel like with some of with like Octopath Traveler and Live Alive, it went a little bit too far with like sort of showing all that off. And this one is sort of like, nah, we just made it colourful. And this is about it, which I like.
Yeah, it reminded me a little bit as well of that Star Ocean 2 remake that I remember.
Oh yeah.
Remembers, which is a shame because it was really good remake of Star Ocean 2.
Yeah.
But
unfortunately, unlike Dragon Quest, Star Ocean was not that big of an IP.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, this sold gangbusters in Japan.
Oh,
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, no, there was
they go fucking crazy for Dragon Quest.
That wasn't entirely surprising. What was a little surprising was it actually did kind of exceed it slightly. I thought it was going to be like 300,000 first day. It's like 500,000 first weekend.
Yeah.
Which take into account the smaller population in Japan.
Yeah.
In comparison, so a bigger share of them bought it that opening weekend.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like Astrobot did very well over there, and that surprised me, especially because you'd say the numbers wouldn't look too surprising, but when you compare it with Japan's population, that's very good for sales in Japan. What do you... but it sold quite well in the West, I think. It sold well in America and Europe decently.
It sold pretty well. I think overall it sold like 2 million copies.
2 million for Dragon Quest. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And not just a new Dragon Quest, but a remake package.
Yeah. Like, I would definitely say, if you're going to play Dragon Quest 3, this is a better way to play it than the other version you could get on Switch or the mobile phone version. Yeah, the mobile phone version is not good.
No, the mobile phone version of Dragon Quest games are good.
Do you reckon then, I wonder if they want to contact Square Enix and say, do you want to put the NAS version on NSO?
Yeah.
I can imagine that might be in Japan because...
I don't think they will, because again, it's already on the Switch.
Yeah, to be fair, that's never really stopped them before. Like, you can get Link to the Past, both the remake and the original, but again, that's Nintendo owned, so they're in complete control.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I do know is the NES after they announced Shin Megami Tensei 5, they put the NES version of Shin Megami Tensei 1 on Japan's NSO.
Oh, that's cool.
So so we have so there are some Japan exclusive NSO parts. Like they've got Mother 3 on GBA.
Yeah.
That's never coming over here.
We're never getting it. I still remember after Reggie retired, someone asked, "Do you know if we'll ever get Mother 3 over in the West?" And he just went, "You know what? I'm happy I'm no longer involved in that decision."
Yeah. But just confirm sale figures. Square Enix now say they sold over 2 million globally. And 1 million in Japan itself.
Yeah.
So 1 million between America and Europe, and 1 million in Japan.
Just Japan.
Yeah.
That is staggeringly good for a Dragon Quest game because they don't sell incredibly well outside of Japan.
Yeah.
Often Japan really props up that franchise. So
our Final Fantasy is their Dragon Quest.
But I would say, do we even have Final Fantasy anymore? Because I think Final Fantasy 16 is still undersold what Square Enix needed it to.
Yeah, because I very saw like 3 million was it in the end?
That's because it's Square Enix.
Yeah, but it's sold well. 3 million is a pretty good sales figure.
I was double check.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth sold incredibly well, from what I remember.
Like you gotta remember the numbers will go up now because of the PC release.
And yet they were so disappointed.
Yeah, I know. Do you reckon the numbers will go up much when they put out the Xbox version? It's not been announced yet, but there's definitely an Xbox version in development.
Right, so in total now, worldwide, it's 5 million.
5 million's pretty good.
Yeah.
But Square said it flopped on PC, selling less than 300,000 units.
Yeah, but that's because they released it too late.
Yeah.
It should have been same day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also, let's be honest, Final Fantasy is more of a console gamers thing rather than a PC.
I think Final Fantasy 15 sold quite well on PC though.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because 15 no, actually, that brings up a point. And the one that people are talking about now, that Dragon Quest has been successful, is the idea of doing a Final Fantasy VI HD 2D.
Oh, I would love that.
Good.
That would be so cool.
I am so glad you guys are on board with me for once on this.
Mate, are you kidding me? Final Fantasy VI is awesome.
I don't think they will do it because I think they're going to say the pixel remasters are fine, which, given them credit, those have improved with some patches. Like they have fixed the typo the typeface and all that business. So those, I would say, the Pixel remasters are perfectly great ways to play those original 6 games.
Yeah. So just going to development budget as well of Final Fantasy 16 itself, it cost $16 million just to develop.
That's the thing, they spent too much.
Too much.
I mean,
and that's what I'm saying, into account marketing afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Square has done something which I remember that Scott the Woz, actually, I'm going to quote him on this one. He's kind of doing what Capcom did a few years ago, with tried to appeal to America too much, but as a result, they realised if they just do what they carry on doing what they were always doing, they would already succeed.
The thing is, immediate sales don't always dictate how much a game sells. Like, perfect example, Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
That game I still don't think has made back what its development cost was. But Sam Lake's just like, no, give it time. It'll make more over time, and it'll eventually become profitable. And it is. It will eventually. That's how Remedy does all their games.
Who's publishing? Is Remedy self-publishing Alan Wake 2, or is it? Do they have another publisher?
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was Remedy published.
Yeah, because I think they did it with Square for Control, didn't they?
Square Enix owns a stake in Control.
Yeah. If it could possibly have been Epic. Because they go on the Epic Games Store exclusively.
Yeah, it's published by Epic, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. So Epic, and that's the thing. By publishing with Epic, they didn't have to worry about it because Epic makes tons of money off Fortnite. They can take a loss on Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, so it's Remedy, like, and they're not worried. Like, I don't think they've shown any kind of concern, and all the fans are like, yeah, it'll make it back eventually. It's still selling really well.
So I'd say, given these sales figures and what we're hearing from the feedback, I think the future for both Dragon Quest and the HD2D team is pretty good at this point.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like, so as negative as I've been on it, I will say I'm happy it exists.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That's the way I put it. Even if it's not, you never have that thing of saying it's not for me, but I'm glad it exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a good way for new players to access old games that aren't in print anymore.
But it's, for me, there's other HD2D games I'd rather play.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, I've been very impressed by the original franchise that they've created with the HD2D engine, like Octopath and Triangle Strategy.
Even if the names are really stupid.
Yeah, I'll grant you that one. The names aren't great.
Like with Project Triangle Strategy. Oh yeah, that's going to be temporary. And what?
Yeah, no, especially considering that they try so hard at the end of the storyline to bring, if you go for like the true ending, they try so hard to say, no, it wasn't just something that we made up on the fly. It actually ties into the plot lines. Like, it ties in the most minuscule way.
Yeah, you see, they're all sat in a triangle. And they're strategizing. It all comes together.
See, guys,
and we all come together.
See, guys, together we can be the triangle strategy.
Maybe the real triangle strategy was the friends we made along the way. Overall, what rating would you give Dragon Quest then?
7.5. No, I'm going to up that. That's not fair because technically it's very good. Mm-hmm. So if I think technically very good, but not for me, I'd say maybe 7.8 to 8 total.
I give it 8.4.
Yeah, you got to admit though, it's not newcomer friendly for RPGs.
It's not, but again, it's trying to appeal to the old fans, which major respect to them. I hope HD 1 and 2 are just as good.
Yeah, and can I also point out though, I know that's also a criticism you can make of Live Alive as well, but I stand by that one, and I think I did actually say in my original review, I think Live Alive is not great for newcomers to RPGs unless they played the South Park RPGs, which was the closest I could think of what Forsen was.
I think Dragon Quest is definitely more beginner friendly than Live Alive, just because the combat system is a lot easier to get around.
Yeah, you've got to learn the grid system with Live Alive.
Yeah, meanwhile with Dragon Quest, they made the turn-based RPG system, so obviously that's going to be really easy to figure out.
Yeah. So, shall we move on then to? I'll do the one that I've only done a bit of, but I can give a little thoughts on it. So because we'll get it done quite quickly. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Yeah.
I played it, and it exceeded my expectations.
Now, did you go in with low expectations though?
I went on with mid expectations. I thought, well, I know some of the marketing hasn't been great for it, but it's Machine Games making it, and it's not been it doesn't look like the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I'll say it completely recaptures the feeling of watching an Indiana Jones movie back in the day.
Yeah.
It really does. Like even the guys they hired to do the soundtrack sounds like it's done by composers making for an Indiana Jones film.
Back in the day, all the way back when Calvin got his second job.
It's set in 1936, so it takes place between Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom. And I'd say it does actually tie in early. From what I should say, I haven't finished the game. I'm working my way through it.
Yeah.
But it does tie in storyline wise a bit with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sort of ties into the whole why did the sidekick from the first one not show up in the second one?
Yeah.
Did he die?
No. Well, I haven't got to the part but we just know by the early parts she left Indy.
Yeah.
And
She's gonna die.
and that he's a bit taken up, but no, because he's got a new sidekick for the game. He actually does have a bit of an issue. Like it actually has a great line where the ghost says, "You can't always run from your troubles, Indy. Watch me." But one of the things I think they did a really good idea for was the tutorial is the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the clip of that. Some surprisingly less bloody.
Yeah, they actually did tone down the blood with this one, and also
Which is funny because the original was very PG.
Also, I will say Nolan North is doing a very good Harrison Ford impression.
Yeah, I've heard clips of him.
Yeah, the guy they got to play Alfred Molina's part. Full credit to him, he's doing fine, but he does not sound like Alfred Molina.
Yeah, fair.
But I think the one thing I will say is the mechanics of doing the punching is a bit difficult to get a hold of. It's a bit difficult to initially get a hold of, but you do get the hang of it. I did actually accidentally fire the whip a couple of times when I shouldn't have.
Okay.
So I had to go, what the hell was that?
Now, is that because it's first person? It's hard to judge the depth.
It's a little bit, yes.
Yeah, which is why I keep saying I feel like it should have been third person because hand-to-hand combat works so much better in third person than it does in first. It's part of the reason why I struggle with Skyrim oftentimes when I tried that.
Yeah, I agree, and it's also it takes a point because like we're going to sort of come back to this, but in Overwatch, I find the characters I have the hardest one controlling are the melee and brawl fighters, like the ones who use swords or their fists. I much prefer characters that use long range weapons.
Which compared to me in Overwatch 1, I was always tank, I was always Reinhardt.
Yeah, you were always Reinhardt and I was May.
I mean, I guess to give another comparison, Dead Island 2, I definitely struggled a lot more with melee than I did with guns. But I guess the difference is in that game you're sort of more tempted to use melee because bullets are so limited. God, that game was really good. I did not give it enough credit last year.
I will say as well, you do eventually get guns in this one, I should point out. And also, to Elliot's point, they have a very good third-person model because you see it every time you do like climbing on to get up somewhere, or other actions. But I can completely understand why they did it as first-person because Machine Games make Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
They know how to make good first-person games, and it does work eventually. Once you get the hang of it, it's great. And I do like the emphasis on stealth. Yeah,
because that's why Indiana Jones is pretty much an almost everyday man. He's not supposed to be like a superhero.
Yeah,
like leaping off buildings and everything.
Yeah, he's the everyman's Nathan Drake.
Exactly. Thank you, Elliot.
Yeah, and they do a pretty good job. Showing the rise of fascism in Europe at the time, because of course World War II's not kicked off yet at the time this game's taking place. We're like 3 years out from it happening.
Yeah, so we start to see the rise of the Hitler.
Like the Vatican stage, which is the first one you do after the tutorial, is pretty much you really are seeing Mussolini's influence, and that's why you have to be quite stealthy.
From what I remember, though, aren't you still fighting Germans?
Yes, the main bad guy is a German.
I mostly remember that because of that one fucking 5-minute cutscene we were forced to watch at I think, Summer Game Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Where the guy went, ho, ho, ho.
No, seriously, there is that is hilarious. But to be fair, people say that was over the top. I was like, have you seen an Indiana Jones movie? Like,
My problem wasn't that I was over the top. My problem was as is the main problem with Jeff Keighley's game things. They spent too long on it.
Yeah, they did spend too long on it.
Fucking move on.
But it does mechanically it's great. Graphically it's amazing. Like Machine Games did a really great job.
Yeah, they really captured Harrison Ford's likeness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again that probably was what I reckon. No joke. I reckon a lot of the budget went to getting Harrison
definitely.
Ford's likeness.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just think Harrison Ford was glad for once he didn't actually have to do anything except buy out his likeness.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? You're still not over Indiana Jones? I just did one. It was a flop.
Which is why I was happy to see Force Awakens, because they killed off Han Solo in that film, which is what he's always said.
It's kind of funny that Harrison Ford is probably the one actor I know who seems to hate acting the most. Like
all his roles he hates.
You absolutely see him and it's just like he's just doing this for a fucking paycheck.
The only one I would say
he was actually Han Solo in Star Wars, and he is the least passionate person when it comes to Star Wars.
That's why it kind of worked in Blade Runner 2049 because it actually kind of played to what was going on with the character at that point. I will say though, it's really noticeable in say Ender's Game, and I hate bringing that movie up, but considering the author. But if you ever end up watching any clips of that, Harrison Ford looks bored out of his skull throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, because the thing as well with House Ford, he originally wanted to be killed off in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So no carbonite, no nothing. Jabba just kills him, and George is like, "No, we need you back, Harrison."
I remember there's a really
like when Han Solo, when he learns that Han Solo was dying in Force Awakens, you could just imagine him going, "Thank fuck for that."
But which is weird because apparently from all the stories I've heard, he's really one of the most fun people to be with on set.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Apparently, when that sex scene in Blade Runner was going really badly and no one was very happy, he mooned the entire set to cheer everyone up, and they apparently were laughing their asses off with it. But another one I did find out is when he was at an award, he was there at the premiere of Empire Strikes Back, and they get the famous "I am your father" clip. He apparently whispered to Mark Hamill, "You never fucking told me that, kid."
Yeah, because the whole thing with that twist, sorry to go on a tangent, George Lucas kept it a secret from everyone. Yeah. So when they filmed that specific bit, he sent everyone out, including the rest of the cast and crew. So it was just him, because he actually did the cameras for a lot of that scene, just to keep it a secret while filming.
Yeah. You know, it was just him. He actually gave it to Mark, saying, "If this leaks, we know it's going to be you." Yeah. And because I was thinking, they told, do not tell Carrie Fisher, because if you tell Carrie Fisher to keep something a secret, it'll be all over Hollywood within 5 minutes.
That sounds like Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, no. I think though, but going back to the Harrison Ford thing, Nolan North really nails Harrison Ford's voice. Like I was staggered at some moments, going, I cannot believe that's not Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he's always so talented.
Yeah, Nolan North really is one of those. He's really up there with like the really talented voice actors.
He and Troy Baker are everywhere in video games, but there's a reason for it.
Exactly.
And I'd add Matt Mercer to that mix as well.
Not as much.
No.
Though.
And Laura Bailey, I think she should go up there with those. If we ever did a Mount Rushmore of voice actors, I would want Laura Bailey up there.
Yeah.
Say we like about Last of Us Part 2, and believe me, we said a lot about Last of Us Part 2, but she
gave a really good performance.
Not only she
no hate to them.
Like, she gets great, and she was great as Toru in Fruits Basket. I think any other voice actress would not have nailed the performance of that.
Apparently, because obviously, as I mentioned, she's very highly known for Critical Role. Apparently, Last of Us Part 2, every member of Critical Role had a role in that game.
Oh, really?
Apparently, I think most of them were Easter eggs, though.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. So. Here's the thing, and based on the clip you see in my description of it, because I'm saying at the minute, if nothing changes, I'm going to give it an 8.5 or a 9.
Yeah, fair enough.
So in between that area, that's what I'm aiming at the minute. Would you guys, because you're obviously not going to buy an Xbox for this.
No.
Elliot, would you consider getting on PC or wait for the PS5 version?
I'll probably get on PC if it's on a discount.
Yeah, no, okay. What about you, Reese? Would you wait for the PS5 version to come out and try it then?
Yeah, because I'm a very big fan of the franchise.
So I would say, if you're a big fan of the franchise, you've got nothing to complain. You've not got much to complain about this one.
Yeah.
It's got some issues with it. I'm not going to lie. I think the first person takes some getting used to, especially when you don't have guns early on. I think it's some of the reading the map is a bit confusing. You have to sort of bring up the pause menu and look at the map and actually look at have him hold up a physical map.
Right.
But
I think that's cool. I remember, like, I think Far Cry 2 did something like that.
I'm not saying these are bad. I'm just saying these take getting used to. It's not a game that you're going to just jump in and immediately be able to play it. Yeah. But I would say it is up there with the really good take a famous franchise and turn it into a video game with like stuff like the not as good, but it reminds me quite a bit of times of Batman Arkham.
Oh yeah.
Are there any games where that failed? No, think about it, because I imagine there's like a couple.
Why they didn't take the direct franchise? I think
where they took a franchise and made a game out of it.
Ninja Turtles, they've had a few failures there.
Yeah, the game I remember that.
Out of the Shadows video game, that wasn't great.
Yeah, the 2003 adaptation video game was decent.
Star Wars is definitely one. There's a number of failures.
But also some really good ones. It's very hit and miss.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Star Wars has gone beyond being a film franchise now. It is a whole worldwide phenomenon. And there are very few franchises where you could say now they're a phenomenon.
I mean, it always has been. Even when there was just the original trilogy, we had a myriad of games and books based within the universe.
And don't forget, with the original New Hope in '77, it was responsible for creating the Summer Blockbuster.
Yeah, because I'd say between that and Jaws, I think Jaws also played.
Oh yeah, Jaws definitely did as well.
Yeah, those two, you've now got, okay, summer is the time to release your big movies.
Yeah.
So, speaking of things based on movies that everyone likes, Marvel Rivals.
Well,
no, not recently.
I would say though.
At the same time, he's the only person who actually likes Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I still,
that film is shit.
I would actually say, considering everything, I'm surprised they put the villain from that in. Oh God, what's his name?
Claw. Claw's on Rivals.
No,
Namor.
Namor. Yeah. Namor is in Rivals. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Namor was one of the first few Marvel superheroes.
Yeah. So
from the 40s.
Yeah. No. Namor really has a long history.
Yeah. Because Namor's older than Aquaman.
Oh.
Yeah. Hence why they did have that be the fight when they did Marvel versus DC.
Yeah.
I've played the PS5 version. You played PS5. Elliot hasn't played it yet because he doesn't really like hero shooters.
Yeah.
And I don't care for Marvel.
I'll say another thing about this one is I thought it was going to be loaded with MCU characters to promote the films. MCU plays a factor in it, but not a huge factor. Like there's a lot that they got a large portion of the X-Men.
Yeah.
You got some quite obscure characters like Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
That everyone's been thirsting for on Twitter.
Yeah, especially with the redesign.
Yeah.
Compared to her very first costume that was in comics, she looks completely different.
Yeah, no, she definitely has a bit of a massive redesign.
The horny fairies.
But the one,
Carl.
And of course, the one that's taking everyone by storm, Jeff the Land Shark.
Yes.
Wait, I'm the fairy of the group. He's just horny.
Yeah, but he talks about it more though.
That's true.
Fuck off. Which incidentally, I am maining Jeff at the minute.
Yeah.
What about you, Reese? Who are you maining at the minute?
I'm jumping between quite a few. So my tank at the minute is Doctor Strange because that portal is overpowered.
Yeah.
My duelist is Punisher because
Punisher.
He does so much damage, and my healer I go between Rocket and Mantis.
No, I stick with Jeff as my healer. I did actually have a good run the other day as Captain America.
Oh yeah.
Wait, Rocket's a healer?
Yeah,
Rocket Raccoon.
Surely he'd be like a tank. Or like a very heavy artillery character.
No, so his main gun, and then his other option is to shoot heal balls out at people that ping pong around.
I'm sorry, Groot is right there.
No, yeah. Groot's a tank. Groot's basically May.
Yeah.
Like he gets the ice wall mechanic for his like.
But it's vine walls for Groot.
I do like. Well, one of the things actually brings me to a thing. The team up mechanic I like because you do get bonuses if you team up certain characters. Like Groot has, if you play as Rocket, you can ride Groot,
which I have done.
Also,
I always get instantly sniped. So that was the original costume.
That is demented.
Yes,
that is fucking terrifying.
Told you.
How is she a superhero?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Her very first appearance.
Yeah. So Groot, I didn't really like playing as Groot when I did it, which is weird because I main May in Overwatch, and everyone, and I saw a video of like if you main this character in this game, you'll do well in Marvel Rivals as this character.
Yeah.
So I'd say Jeff is like Lucio, if I can think of the comparison with him.
Yeah, and then
Adam Warlock is Mercy.
Punisher
is definitely Soldier 76. Star-Lord is Tracer.
Yeah. Except Tracer who flies.
Yeah.
And probably doesn't have a big ass.
No, unfortunately.
But I do like some of the interactions, like when Star-Lord meets Jeff.
Yeah.
You're even cuter than Rocket. And even feistier, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the way they introduced Jeff in the first trailer was having him sing the theme song.
Oh, that's so cute, man.
My favourite thing is just when you go in you sort of do this diving mechanic where you dive in and his dorsal fin is up, and he just does the Jaws feed.
Which means that Nettie's over in China must have paid Universal some money for that.
Yeah, considering he does just enough of it.
Yeah.
To
count.
To count. But the I mechanically I do like the team-up mechanic. I'm begging people when I play as Jeff, someone pick Luna Snow.
Yeah.
Just because you can get the freezing bullets then.
Yeah, which is weird because she's one of the strongest healers. I don't see anyone using her.
I've barely seen it. Also, to be fair, until this game, I didn't know who Luna Snow was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She was invented for an old mobile game.
Oh, that's who she is.
Yeah, if it's like Future Fights or something like that.
I know some obscure Marvel characters. I've never heard of her.
Yeah, she's been around for about under 10 years. She then jumped from that to the comics, where she's a K-pop star.
Yeah, there's a K-pop star in the Marvel universe now.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do think Marvel kind of has over DC. They are better at making fun of themselves and doing light-hearted characters. Jeff is prime exclusive to that. I mean, he's a Deadpool character that got in before Deadpool.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard of what the leaks are of who the new characters are going to be, Deadpool's not joining anytime soon.
No, which is weird because for Wolverine, one of his costumes is from the Deadpool
Wolverine movie. Which is weird. It's weird because I like Deadpool. You'd think would suit this game
easily. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other? So, for example, I'd like Spider-Gwen to be in there because they already have a bit of Spider-Verse representation with Penny Parker.
Yeah.
Who, incidentally, it's one of those weird. Penny Parker. I don't really like the redesign of her mech.
Yeah. It's called the Spider, but it's like instead of eyes, like forward slashes. Because it's supposed to be tech and cool.
And she's one of my favourite parts of Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I love the design of that mech.
Yeah. Whereas in the game, her mech now, most of what it does is just lay mines on the floor. It barely does anything from the films.
Yeah, because I thought she'd be play like Diva, which is weird because Hulk is the diva of the group.
So they basically turned her into a nerfed Samus.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
I will say one thing I do have a complaint about. There's not a lot of maps. Like they have a few maps for Tokyo 2099 for the Spider-Verse stuff.
Yeah, so there's 5 maps in total, with some of those maps having 2 variants.
So you got Wakanda. You've got.
Oh yeah, that's just more maps.
You got Wakanda. You got Yggdrasil.
You've got Clintar, which are the symbiotes. Which Null's coming down the line because he was in the trailer for the game.
So who's he?
Null. Yeah, the guy with symbiotes.
Yeah, again, you didn't get Carnage. You got Null.
Yeah, so you got Venom, and you're jumping straight to Null. There's like a 50-year gap in the comics. They're going over.
I think they're wanting to forget about the Venomverse.
Well, yeah, they're just shutting down those films this week.
Yeah, so Kraven's going to be the last one.
And none of them have been good.
And none of them have had Spider-Man in.
Also,
and they're all based on Spider-Man characters.
Actually, that's
like they're setting up for stuff, but Jesus Christ, dude.
That's another thing. It's very hero focused. Not a lot of villains in this. Like, there's Loki. There's
Hela,
Magneto.
Well, with Magneto, he's not really been a villain for decades.
And the same with Hela. She's kind of turned to an anti-hero now, especially after she joined the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I mean, how in Spider-Man 2, he's misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
He's reformed.
Yeah,
now.
with Doc Ock.
Yeah.
What about? I mean, that's the thing. I would love to see them put some more villains in there, like Green Goblin, or
especially because you've already got characters who fly at the minute.
Or Doctor Doom as well. I'd love Doctor Doom to come in.
Well, Doctor Doom's like one of the main characters with the story mode. Him in Doom 2099.
Which I must be honest, I haven't done much of the story mode.
Well, there's not really much to the story mode because it's like you unlock it through doing missions.
Yeah, which I'm failing at that because I don't want to play. Go off on its characters I don't want to play as. Like they had one kill 5 enemies with Captain America or Storm if you do this particular team. It's like, oh, I don't want to play as Storm. I don't like playing as Storm.
Yeah, and the team has to be with Thor as well. So if you're playing Captain America or Storm, but no one else is playing Thor, you cannot do that mission.
Welcome to the struggles I had while playing through the story of Tekken 8.
Oh, but Tekken 8 was good though.
Yeah, but there were some characters I didn't like playing as.
Yeah, no, I grant you. But and it's not like Injustice. Injustice actually lowers the difficulty every time you lose a fight in the story mode because they really want you to get to the end of that story mode. Which, now that I think about it, Injustice is probably the most successful DC franchise in terms of the video games at the minute.
Yeah.
Why is it we haven't got a third one then?
Yeah, I was about to say, I would have.
Last one was on the Wii U!
Yeah, I was going to say NetherRealm would have. I would have thought NetherRealm would want to get on the case for making another Injustice game.
They've just been too busy in Mortal Kombat 1 at the minute.
Yeah, you need to understand. They've just been too busy rebooting Mortal Kombat and getting Megan Fox in and killing Lizard, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah, so with Mortal Kombat, this is now the third main timeline. Yeah, so it's now the third main timeline. Because Mortal Kombat 1 was another reboot to the reboot we just had.
Which came out, which I don't even know if that's a decade old at this point.
No, because it went Mortal Kombat 1 through to Armageddon, then we had the reboot with 9, then we got 10, then 11, now it's another reboot with 1.
And of course we've, but it's been
that Goobus Doobus animated short is really starting to come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. At least you didn't predict Ghostface was coming in though. I will say, all joking aside, is actually one of the best DLC characters they've ever had.
Yeah, and they just announced a new one, which is Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, Conan the Barbarian's coming in.
Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian. Sorry,
Conan the Kardashian.
What is Conan the character from fucking Cars now?
Oh, please tell me they'll get Arnold Schwarzenegger to voice him.
I don't think they have.
No. Best inclusion. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
Yes.
Cool party
with all the same cheesy lines.
So okay. Here's the thing. Marvel Rivals. It really has gotten me to fall in love with Overwatch. It's really brought back that time when I fell in love with Overwatch the first time.
Which is when me used to play a lot. PS4.
We played a lot of that, and I thought I would never go back to Overwatch because it's gone downhill, and I'm just not really a fan of what direction it's going in. This one has been a perfect replacement for me because it's just nailed it in every regard. It doesn't have the loot boxes, so I could just buy what I want, and even then you can save up in-game money quite easily. So
very easily.
If you're willing to put the time and effort in, you can not spend anything and get all the stuff you want.
Does it have a battle pass?
It does, but it's optional.
You'll know it has value then.
Yeah, and the battle pass as well don't expire; they carry over.
Ah, sick.
So if you buy this one at launch, then don't play the game for a year. You can go back and still complete the whole battle pass.
That's cool.
Which again is very user friendly. Give credit to NetEast. They made a free to play microtransaction game, but they at least didn't do the most predatory practices possible, which they could have easily done considering the audience this game is aimed at. Let's be honest. This is aimed at comic fans and little kids.
Yeah.
Because it's Marvel.
Yeah.
To say what you like about how the MCU's on a downturn right now, it still draws in. Kids still go to see those films.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone to an MCU film for my work, there's always been a big family audience there.
Always, yeah.
Do you know what the most packed cinema I've been in? One of the most packed cinemas I've been in this year was Paddington 3.
Well, yeah, because
it's Paddington. That's why.
Exactly.
Not a complaint. It's an observation.
Well, don't forget as well, Hideo Kojima is always raving about Paddington on his Twitter.
Yeah.
He's one of the biggest stands out there.
I'll bet you there's some sort of Paddington reference in Death Stranding 2 now.
Oh, there has to be.
Just like a little statue or something, or someone wearing that red hat
and blue coat.
Eating marmalade sandwich.
And he's voiced by Ben Whishaw. What do you think?
No, wait. There's a DLC item where that guy with the guitar has a Paddington outfit.
But if their goal is to get people to buy more Marvel stuff because of this game, it's succeeded on me because I pre-ordered Jeff's trade paperback.
Of course.
Because it was originally a Marvel online subscription that I didn't want to subscribe to.
Yeah, which is called Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah,
which most Marvel fans hate.
Yeah, so I thought no point. I'll just wait until the trade paperbacks come out and I'll get them there.
Yeah, because with Marvel Unlimited, it's like what's the one you used to use? the comics.
Comixology.
Comixology. It's similar to that, except Marvel Unlimited was missing issues. It was missing pages.
Yeah.
And some pages weren't even uploaded properly.
And remember the Show and Jump app had that for a bit. Of a time.
And considering I consume most of my manga and comics digitally, that's really bad for someone like me. I was reading Civil War 2 when it was coming out.
That event was so bad. It's what made me stop buying comics regularly. Civil War 2.
And here's the controversy: I like it more than Civil War 1.
I think it's better than Civil War 1, but not by much.
Yeah, the ending's better.
Oh yeah, but that's not hard to go by.
That's not hard to do, no. Oh god, here's the thing that I also learned from reading Civil War 1. Mark Miller is a terrible writer, and all the stories people like are the ones where other people got to completely change them. Try reading the original comic of Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Wasn't Mark Miller regularly complained about?
Yeah, he has been. He's not at the time. He is now complained about, but at the time, I remember people kissing his ass because they watched the movie version, or they thought he was so deep. No, he's a fucking edgelord that gets paid to be an edgelord. Honestly, read the original comic of Secret Service Kingsman. It's unfucking readable.
Yeah.
His Kick-Ass comics are just so, and Kick-Ass again is another example. They're so overly moody.
I would, but that requires me to read comics.
Okay, so going back to Marvel's Rivals again, what do you think of the redesigns actually? Because there's a couple that I'm not a huge fan of. I didn't really like Magneto's redesign, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's weird going with his white suit because that's only been a recent thing from the comics.
Yeah, I was going to say I always think of Magneto's wearing red.
Yeah, purple and red are his default colours normally. Whereas this is also a costume.
To be fair, Ian McKellen doesn't dress up like that in the X-Men films, and neither does Michael Fassbender.
Well, the reason for that is because they want to get away from comic style outfits with Fox. Because look at the original X-Men, it was black leather.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that either. Yeah. I do. I mean, they do make a joke saying, "Would you rather wear yellow spandex?"
Yeah. Where Cyclops says to him on the Blackbird.
But one of the best, but that I don't want to spoil it. But when they do some homages to the original costumes in Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's one of the best moments of that whole thing.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I got to see it in live action.
Yeah,
you'll know the moment I'm on about.
Oh yeah, trust me, I've seen it a couple of times because it's now on Disney Plus as well. There's a story to go on tangent that Ryan Reynolds said that when Hugh Jackman walked onto set with that costume on. Members of the crew were crying. I coming up to him, and it's our story that I think it's like one of the cameramen or one of the producers at the time. Wolverine was like one of his favourite characters. He even named his own son Logan after him.
Oh.
So he just ran up to Hugh and just hugged him. Seeing him in the costume.
And did he whisper to him, "Till you're 90"?
Which, let's face it, that was a joke in the film. That's going to become a reality.
Yeah, that is going to become a reality.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Disney are doing with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. as they're now in the new fucking Avengers.
But I will tell
you, their characters are dead.
Well, with Robert Downey Jr., he's playing a different character now.
And that's so worse.
I'll tell you one of the things I did find out though is I think one of the things that when Hugh Jackman said he was going to retire as Logan, I don't think he realised he was going to get divorced afterwards.
Yeah.
So I would say though, with the one thing I don't really like about Marvel Rivals, something I don't like about it, the specials are very hit and miss.
Yeah, some are great, some are quite poor.
Like Jeff's is great.
Yeah. Jeff's is broken.
Yeah, no, I put it this way, Elliot, here's how broken it is. I managed to get 5 KOs at once with it yesterday.
Huh.
Because what I did was I just swallowed up every single person and then walked off a ledge, and so even the flying characters didn't get to escape it.
Yeah, because even when I'm playing as Rocket, I rarely am able to survive that if I still have my jump jets left.
Captain America's one isn't very good.
No, because his main thing's a team buff, really.
Yeah, because he just yells "assemble" and then it's a buff, and he goes like, "You guys all wandered away when I was doing it. Way to go, guy." I remember there was one time I got 4 KOs, and the team I was with was so bad that we still lost. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I took out 4 of them in the area, and they still took back control. Yep. What the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's happened to me a lot because I was talking with you in DMs when we had a meeting the other day.
Yeah,
say my team is so shit. Stick together.
Yeah.
Oh, good God, that is me with Space Marine 2 sometimes.
Oh, and also
like, guys, they're taking the base. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a great one. There was everyone who plays as 4 he seems to be terrible at it because, put it this way, again, you said it the other day, you're the only person I've seen, when I showed you that score the first time I became MVP, you're the first person I've seen who's managed to do more damage as Jeff than healing. I was like, well, the guy playing as 4 just kept walking into my path and I just kept shooting him, and he was like, it can't be this easy.
Yeah.
But it's like every 4 player, I was like, oh, someone's playing as 4, I'll go for them because they're obviously going to be crap. And I was right every time. Is 4 just such a nerfed character that he's terrible, or is it everyone who picks him is terrible as it?
Everyone who picks him is terrible because he's actually one of the best characters in the game and best tanks.
Kind of the opposite of Little Mac then.
Yeah.
It's like I tried to get good as Black Panther, but because I liked his special.
Black Panther's one of the worst characters in the game.
Yeah, that was because they had a mission around. And I'm like, oh no, don't make me play as Black Panther.
Yeah, because playing this game, I saw the trophy list. I'm saying I'm not good for those trophies.
Yeah, there's some trophies list. Like it's just awful for it.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact the crossplay works quite well. I've been able to play with PC and Xbox players pretty well.
Oh, I've got a feeling against PC players. I've seen a few aimbots.
There's a couple. I've encountered a couple of aimbots as well.
Yeah, the reason why I know because there's a character on PC using Hawkeye, and Hawkeye has the ability when fully charging his bow, he can one-shot everyone with 250 HP or lower, and Rocky has 250 HP. So I was going through the map, I was ducking and diving, going like that, and then he shoots me through a wall with a headshot and kills me.
No fucking way without being an aimbot.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
I know. I've seen a couple where I've not proven it, but I've suspected they're using an aimbot because I've seen the footage back because they do that thing.
Yeah, the replay.
The replay. They show you the footage back of when you get killed, and I thought that was a bit too close for comfort. That really feels like it should be an aimbot.
Yeah, Space Marine 2 is superior than as Warhammer players. We're a respectable breed. We only call people out for heresy twice a day.
Well, I can't say would you buy this or not because it's free to play. But could you recommend this?
Yeah, I'd recommend it, especially if you've got friends you play with.
I would say yes. I would recommend it. I'm not sure I'd recommend it to young kids. So like
no.
So like Raheem, I wouldn't recommend him
because the thing is, it's a good game, but it's too mechanically intensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So put it this way, I would recommend it to his dad. I wouldn't recommend it to him.
Yeah.
I don't think you would recommend it to his dad. Is he good at games?
No, I beat him several times in Street Fighter in Paris Airport. We were waiting for our flight.
Okay.
They had a demo kiosk in Paris Airport. So we just said, let's keep playing Street Fighter while waiting because our flight's been delayed. And I beat him 6-1. We only had Luke and Ryu to pick from as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's been a demo kiosk.
Yeah. I took Ryu because I don't want to play as Luke.
Anyway, next game.
Probably the last game we talk about, Planet Coaster 2.
Actually, I do have a quick one for after that.
You can go first if you want.
Okay, Legacy of Kain.
Legacy of Kain remastered. Yeah, I haven't got around to this yet. I need to get around to it.
I've only played like a couple of hours of Soul Reaver 1 so far. It's my first time playing it. It's fun. I enjoy it.
Did you have Soul Reaver 1 back in the PS1, Reese?
No, a friend had it, but I did play a bit on.
I played it a bit, yeah, I had it, yeah.
You can definitely tell it's a PS1 game. It is a bit clunky. With the movements and the platforming. There's some ideas I really like about it. Like, I like how when you're fighting vampires, you can't just beat them up to kill them. You need to use like fire or a sharp object or like throw them into water or sunlight. Adds a bit more intensity to the fight, in my opinion. Generally, really like that. Yeah,
you got to admit, Legacy of Kain was quite ahead of its time when it came out.
Yeah.
That being said, though, I always went back to Medieval.
Same.
That's fair.
But it's not a Sony first-party game, is it? Legacy of Kain? Is Legacy of Kain for Sony?
I think so. It's a spin-off of Nosgoth, is it?
Not.
That franchise like books and stuff.
Not sure. I'd say.
Who publishes Legacy of Kain? I think it's.
Well, with Legacy,
wasn't it the Tomb Raider guys?
Not sure actually.
No, it's not Sony.
It is Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, I thought so.
So that'd be interesting because it would mean that if that purchase that I suggested happened, which could happen afterwards, of Xbox buying Crystal Dynamics, Xbox would own Legacy of Kain.
Yeah.
If they want to do more with it, because we haven't got a game in that series since Soul Reaver 2.
I can't imagine that. I think this is just like a thing for like the up and coming devs to do at Crystal Dynamics before they move on to bigger projects. Like, well, can you guys make?
They do like.
Is Crystal Dynamics making the remaster, or do they just license it out?
They license it out because the developer and publisher this time is Aspyr, who do all the Star Wars remakes on Switch.
Yeah, I looked. Now you said that, I can look at the trailer and think, that does look like something Aspyr would do.
Like they've retained all the menus and stuff as well. Like they have not changed the thing. Literally, I think they've just given the graphics a little bit of a glow up.
Yeah, I was going to say you can swap between the PS1 and the new ones, like the Aspyr version of Tomb Raider does.
If you can, I don't know how. I tried looking for it. I have not found it yet.
Yeah. It's on PlayStation Plus, isn't it?
The original one, I think, is.
Yeah, but so.
Is it? No, the first two Legacy of Kain games are. Soul Reaver isn't.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so these new, but so if you want to get a big part of the franchise, so PlayStation Plus can help you on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, I wish I'd actually played this now beforehand, because I actually do have experience with the PS1 game.
Yeah.
So I would have drawn to it. Do you think old school fans are going to like this remaster?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's basically just, as I said, the original, but with a bit of a glow up.
And again, Aspyr is quite good at that. Like, did you guys play the Tomb Raider ones they did?
No.
Yes, I have.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good, the Tomb Raider ones. I mean, are they doing the other ones that are coming out?
I don't think so. Well...
Because they're doing the PS2 trilogy next.
Yeah, well, like Angel of Darkness and all that.
Yeah.
Those the shit ones.
Yes.
It's like when it's like when Capcom did a Mega Man X Collection 2, and it's all just the bad ones.
Yeah. Just buy the cartridge and never download the other the ones for Legacy Collection 2. You don't need it. Just stick to Legacy Collection 1.
No, you have to buy them both separately. So people who are buying buying Collection 2 are in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Well, if you buy them physically, you have to buy them both together.
Yeah.
At least on Switch. I don't know about the other consoles. But that's the thing. It's not like the original Mega Man where they released it several times. These released on the same day. Why did they put them in two collections?
Yeah, it is weird.
Space, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it kind of made sense with Battle Network, because those were always released as different versions.
Yeah.
But okay. So, Legacy of Kain, what would you score at the minute based on what you played?
Really tough to tell, honestly.
Yeah, so it's quite hard to score something when you've only done a couple of hours.
Probably in the 7s at the minute.
Yeah, so nothing amazing, but you're glad it exists.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. I'm having fun with it. I might do an update in the next video after I beat it, if I beat it.
News just in, Pokemon trading card game Pocket has downloaded over 60 million times since launch. So that's been a tremendous success for them.
Yeah.
Reese, your final game we're going to talk about, Planet Coaster 2.
Yeah, so Planet Coaster 2, of course, sequels to Planet Coaster 1.
And we compare this with the fact I played a little bit of Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic version.
Yeah, so those are like the old Atari games.
Yeah.
That everyone had on their home computer in the 90s.
It's not aged brilliantly.
I've never played a Roller Coaster Tycoon game.
All I can say is Microsoft, please bring out classic Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah.
I really want to play classic Zoo
Tycoon.
Tycoon.
You can't play it now because it's abandonware. It's free to download.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Does that include the Dinosaur and Aquarium expansion packs?
I'm not sure if it does.
Because I wasn't a big fan of Planet Zoo.
Yeah, well, I did a review for Planet Zoo. I thought it was good.
Yeah, we did this in a previous podcast. Yeah. So we won't tread over that too much. What do you think of Planet Coaster 2? Because I remember you had some complaints about the original Planet Coaster.
It's good, but I think Planet Coaster 2 is a step below that.
Oh, wow.
Because they've expanded the concept more to include water parks now. So you got the whole mechanics. But somehow the controls feel worse. And not as intuitive or responsive.
And again, I should point out for record, you played the PlayStation 5 version.
Yeah, but I've also played the original Planet Coaster on PS5 as well. I've got the Platinum for that. That controlled a lot better. Pathing was a lot better.
But I've heard a bunch of people I'll just point out, some people would say, well, if you played the PC version, you would have had a better time. I more didn't want people to think that you had played the PC version and then complain and say, what do you mean it controls bad? It controls fine. Yeah. Do you think it's way more made with a keyboard and mouse in mind?
Easily, yeah.
I mean, I think those Tycoon games usually are.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I did not enjoy doing Planet Zoo with a controller, and I've already mentioned this before.
Well, Planet Zoo wasn't as bad because you only had to build exhibits rather than rides and roller coasters.
Yeah, like you are doing like multiple directions, like the
which is where the issue comes from. in this game alone.
Like how mad can you make the roller coasters this time? Because they were quite, you could make some quite mad ideas.
Oh yeah, well
in the original.
You make it as bad as you want, but there are safety features in place.
Oh god.
So
you can't make death traps.
You can make death traps.
Oh,
you can't make people ride them. So, but what you can do instead is build a half-finished one, and then you have the option to test it when you put a dummy in the carriage and fling it around. And one of the trophies in the original game was to do that and kill 30 people by firing it off the end of a track. So you can still do that, and now you've got the ability to do it with water slides.
It's like the moment you release the lions because you realise this zoo's going nowhere. Might as well have some fun. I'm releasing the lions.
Yeah. So it's a very similar thing, except there's no animals in this game because Planet Coaster is very different from Planet Zoo. This is focused just on the theme parks and roller coaster mechanics, whereas the zoo park had no roller coasters. It was just the animals.
Yeah. But okay, so in terms of like the quality of graphics, because I took a look at it and I thought, it doesn't look like they've upped it that much from Planet Coaster 1.
No, most of the graphics have only had a slight uptick. The only thing that's new to this game is the whole water mechanics, and the fluid dynamics is good. It's very responsive.
But this sounds like something that could have been an expansion to Planet Coaster rather than a whole sequel.
Yeah, which was going to be the part of my review I was going to write up.
Or at the very least, make one just for the water parks and expand that a little more.
Like Planet Water Park would make a bit of sense.
Yeah.
And then you could get some bonuses if you had both games.
Yeah, whereas it's mostly still the roller coaster thing with the water parks tacked on the sides.
Now, how good are like some of the side rides you can do? Like, can you do like the teacups and the merry-go-round?
Yeah, you do all of them. You do log flumes now.
A weird fact I do know: merry-go-rounds were invented for military training.
Really?
Yeah, seriously, they were invented for military training. That's what their original purpose was.
Oh.
I'm just a weird fact I know that I wanted to get out there.
There's been another pointless moment.
But other classic attractions return, like the pirate ship where it swings back and forth.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I never go on them when I'm actually at a theme park.
Well, you can't anymore. Alton Towers, they're shutting theirs down.
Oh yeah, they are. That's
after 44 years.
Wait, shutting down what?
The pirate ship Alton Towers.
the one I remember doing at Alton Towers, the one I have a very vivid memory on is that haunted house one where you sat on it and the ride isn't moving but the walls are, so it gives you the idea that you're moving.
Yeah.
That really messes with your head.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh no.
Well, thankfully, Planet Coaster 2, it does not have that levels of motion sickness.
Yeah. So, do they do that thing of though you can go first person, explore as you normally would? How far does that go? Can you actually get on the rides as if you were a person, or?
So some rides you can. I've not gone to that point yet, but in the base game you could ride the go karts.
Yeah, because I remember that one. Because I was like, I've got a day off work and I'm waiting in a queue.
Yeah.
In a virtual one. It's a moment when you get stuck in a traffic jam in GTA. I remember Dara Brian did this joke.
Oh, how funny would it be if you could go into first person and then go on one of the test ones that was actually a death trap?
Yeah.
That would be so funny.
But so I would say, do you think it would be better on PC than PlayStation?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Because I'm having a few performance issues at the minute because I've not done much of story mode with everything else we're currently covering. So my main focus has been sandbox.
Yeah.
So that has been good, but when you fill up the part of that massive, intricate roller coaster, like several loops and everything, carriages, it does start to tank the frame rate.
Which is weird because I haven't played. As I say, I played Roller Coaster Tycoon classic version, and it works fine.
Yeah.
But it's one of those where like I bought this as a novelty. It's not aged very well.
Yeah.
And it just made me think. I wish Microsoft had done this with Zoo Tycoon. Like I know that, and now I know that mechanic's there. Mm-hmm. But even then, I would love to see them actually just someone come in and just slightly touch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't need much. Like I'm surprised. I think it also made me go. I think Zoo Tycoon Classic has aged a lot better than Roller Coaster Tycoon has.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, what was that one on PlayStation 1 that Catacris did a video of where he just did?
Oh, Legoland.
No, it was one where he just made the theme park with just toilets. Theme Park World?
Well, yeah, Theme Park Worlds, yeah, because I have on PS1, as does Ray, because we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
No, the main one I know him from his videos is the Legoland one.
Oh yeah, he did do that Legoland game.
Which I would like them to bring back, actually. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, it was the Lego Islands.
No, not the Lego Island one. The Legoland Builder one. Like sort of the Roller Coaster Tycoon, but Legoland.
Oh, I thought about the old video we did, like in his early days.
No.
Where's Lego Island, where you're playing as the pizza delivery boy on the skateboard.
Pepperoni.
Yeah.
No, he talked about that one recently. He talked about that one recently in his Lego Games video. The one I'm talking about, I think that was like 2016 or something like that. It was one of his Christmas episodes.
I know he obviously doesn't like going back to those videos, but there are some of those I really do still enjoy.
Yeah.
Like I like his Death Stranding video. I will say though, I think the quality of the content he's making right now has been some of his best stuff.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah, like his iToy video is fantastic, and it made me realise how much I remember liking it now. I think I sort of convinced myself. I think I got my memories mixed up and thought it was as bad as the Kinect, but I was like,
no, it's way better.
No, it was way better. I have a very distinct memory of buying Sega Superstars and really enjoying that.
We're thinking maybe the PS3 one.
Oh yeah, the PS3 one sucked ass.
The only game I had for that was iPad.
I had Eye of Judgment, which was when Sony tried to launch their own trading card game. It failed miserably.
Do not remember that.
No, they gave you a mat and you sort of had to place it on the thing. You had to line it up perfectly so it matched up. It did not work out as well. You always had to have a desk lamp over it because they could never see it properly.
Why couldn't they have just done a Yu-Gi-Oh simulator? Have the cards actually animate?
Well, one of the things they did for online play to make sure you didn't cheat with the way the deck is, they actually gave you a virtual hand, so you had to pick them out from the deck. So it's like, oh, I've got to find that card.
That's annoying.
Yeah, so that was right annoying, and it was a case. It was like, well, at that point, why do I even have the camera here? Because it's not going to work.
At that point, why do you have the cards? Just have it like a virtual tabletop one thing.
Yeah, like just have the cards for if you got someone in person, and just do it. So before I sort of bash Eye of Judgment completely. What would you say at the minute is your opinion on Planet Coaster 2? What would you score at the minute?
I go 7.1 at the minute.
Whereas I would say Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic 6.5. Like it's really good, but it's quite good and it's good nostalgia trip. But you're buying this as a novelty. You really don't want to go back to this one, and there are better options.
I think both of those are worse than I rated Sandland.
Oh, really?
In all fairness, I think looking back, I would put rate Sandland quite a bit lower. I think it was more just because it was the last thing Akira Toriyama worked on.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit more sentimental.
I think I'm wondering, did you reckon I don't think time's going to be very kind to Sandland.
The anime definitely. The anime is definitely going to age well with time. The anime is great, but the game, no.
So, shall we move on to the news items then?
Yeah,
we've got a couple little ones to cover before we end 2024.
Yeah.
So, I think we should move on to the first one, which did actually get an update last night. We've been sort of looking into this and wondering what it would be. But Sony is making plans to buy Kadokawa. They did confirm last night that they do have intentions to buy Kadokawa. Kadokawa has said they would like to be acquired by Sony because they fear a buyout from Korean companies. Make of that what you will.
Yeah.
Well, Japan and Korea have had a very bad history, to say the least.
Yeah.
That's an understatement, but we haven't got time to go into that. The main thing gaming related would mean Sony would own From Software.
Yeah.
Because the Kadokawa is From Software's parent company.
Yep.
So Sony would own. The only thing Sony would gain as ownership from this would be Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Sekiro.
And also Armored Core.
Yeah, I was about to say Armored Core.
No, they wouldn't actually. No, I've realised they wouldn't completely own Sekiro because Activision still has part ownership of that one. That would be weird because that would be a franchise that would be part owned by both PlayStation and Xbox.
I guess also technically, if they decided bringing them back, they would also own Kingsfield and Echo Knights.
Yeah.
Who the fuck remembers Echo Knights?
Here's the thing. A couple of things is I would say don't count on this happening. I'd say don't count on it being a certainty at this point. I think it might happen, but because I don't think it will receive much issue in Japan. I think the FCC might sue Sony to block the deal because they would really have a monopoly in the anime world if they, in terms of localization of anime, they would have a massive monopoly if this deal went through.
Yeah, because the whole thing is, Sony's a Japanese company trying to buy another Japanese company, so would they really get involved though?
Well, yeah, because it directly affects every country that it affects. So, like, for example, Microsoft is an American company. When Microsoft buy an Activision, that's an American company buying an American company. But because they do trading in Britain, it still counts. They have to go, the deal has to go through over here, and that's when that's why they have to make concessions to have Ubisoft forward for some reason. Ubisoft get the streaming rights to Call of Duty. It still makes me laugh that that's what it took to get the deal through.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I know, it's so bizarre. But
it's like open world, Call of Duty, open world, rabbits.
Yeah.
Can I say on this one though, I think not much in terms of like FromSoft being bought by Sony. I don't think it would affect much of anything.
Not really.
No, because Sony already had a stake in FromSoft to begin with.
Yeah, and they'd still release on PC.
Yep.
I think it would just be really negative for Xbox owners because they would lose access to a whole bunch of new games coming out. Like, let's say, for example, it never would happen. I'm just going to use this as an example because Ellie's going to point out this definitely won't happen. Let's say they want to make Dark Souls 4. Dark Souls 4 would then not release on Xbox.
Clearly that wouldn't happen. Obviously the next game is Dark Souls 2 too.
Yeah.
Ellie, I think you told me once that Dark Souls 4 would never happen because they closed the storyline on that one.
Well, kind of. There's definitely kind of the lore in Dark Souls 3 is basically the lighting of the fire, the lighting of the first flame has become a traditional thing that sort of started to cause a decay of Lothric.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, Lothric, the entire world, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is what we see with the Drag Heap.
Yeah.
At the end, the entire world just coming around the first flame.
With Nightwish playing in the background. This is the end of all hope.
Yeah.
That's just Dark Souls in general.
Yeah. So it's got to the point now where everything's dying, but it's not being allowed to die because of the first flame.
Yeah, because the Age of Dark has to come eventually.
Do you think they could do Dark Souls 4 or Dark Souls 0 or something like that?
I don't. Well, they wouldn't really be able to do Dark Souls 0 because the catalyst of everything that happens in Dark Souls 1 is Lord Gwyn lighting the first flame, and so it will be really difficult to sort of do a Dark Souls style game in that era.
Yeah, so the only thing I could think of would be the getting the Lord's souls in the first place and the fight against the dragons.
Or you do Dark Souls 4, but you make it a midquel. Which is a word I hate using, but it's.
I don't see them doing anything more in the Dark Souls series. So I think there's not really much more they can do because obviously we explored the beginning. We explored the Age of the Dark in Dark Souls 2.
Yeah. And
then now in Dark Souls 3 we have seen what happens with the fire first flame constantly being relit.
Well, Elliot, it's not going to affect you, but how do you feel about the idea that any new franchise if this deal goes through, any new franchise that FromSoft does might not go to Xbox?
I don't think it'll go to Xbox straight away. I don't think Sony's going to completely keep Dark Souls. I think they might, or like the Soulsborne series. I think it'll be timed exclusive if anything.
Okay, I could see them doing that because I think Sony knows FromSoft has a thing, and they might do a deal with Microsoft and Nintendo to get it through, to help get it through. For example,
I don't think it's going to be a massive hit to the Xbox players. I think it'll be massive to the PC players because a lot of the Souls-like community does play on PC.
Well, it's one of the reasons why when Elden Ring was first coming out, I got the PC version because I figured I'd almost guarantee myself some multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because I also wrongly assumed that Ren and his friends would help me out if I was struggling at a boss.
No,
of course they wouldn't.
Of course not. Fuck you. You're stuck on your own.
Actually, if I'd known that, I would have stuck to the PS5 version, and Reese could have been my crutch.
Yeah, it's me just helping out Ren constantly on stream.
I'm happy you did. Would you have helped him if he asked for it though? Please say no. Please say no.
I did help you a few times.
You helped me a couple of times when I was my PC. Like I couldn't beat Kanda Niall in my first playthrough. And
Oh, Commander Niall.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy with the prosthetic leg.
He was really tough on PS5 first time.
Second try.
First time.
Actually, no, third try.
And also,
in all fairness, I think you probably had a more broken build than I did.
To be
not the first playthrough, because I had under 20 HP.
I was using, in offense, I was using guts. I wasn't like using magic or like massively strong weapons.
No, I didn't switch to magic until Faramazula with the Godskin duo, where I respec and said, right, everything else, kill these geeks.
Yeah, you made the big mistake with Souls players. Level up vitality. Do not neglect it for the love of God.
But strength go up.
But big number go bonk.
Exactly. Which is what I did.
Do you guys think this is going to happen? Like, and not forget everything else. Like, we can speculate after the deal if the deal does or doesn't go through. We can speculate on what that means. Do you think it's actually going to happen?
Tough to say.
Yeah.
Because again, Kadokawa's going to be bought either way.
Yeah, they're looking for a buyer.
Yeah.
They are looking for a buyer. That's the thing, though. I wouldn't mind if Sony got them in that sense. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is them having a monopoly in the anime world, which they really would, because they'd have Crunchyroll as well.
Yeah.
They really would have a lot, and it would mean Netflix and Disney would really have to step. Disney Plus, for the purpose of this, would have to step up their game to really compete with them. Like, High Dive is not really a competitor to Crunchyroll. They don't. They don't have the same subscriber count, and they don't even have the thing they kind of had before, which is the fact they get a lot of weird uncensored anime.
I don't even know how much Disney Plus or Netflix overall would be affected, because they don't just do anime. They only get like a couple series, like a season.
But you got to remember they license a lot of manga, and I mean a lot of manga. Kadokawa really has a lot of licenses on that one, which would really throw everything into licensing.
Like they've got Attack on Titan, they've got Blue Lock, they've got Noragami.
Yeah, there's a lot more that you could list off. So if new projects came out involving those, it could put everything into real licensing issues.
Which is why I'm really hoping they do a Shonen Jump style app instead of that fucking current piece of shit.
Which one's Bookwalker?
No, not that. They have their own sort of manga reading app, which is a massive, gigantic piece of shit.
Is it better or worse than the one Square Enix launched?
I think it's the same as the one Square Enix launched.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, that is a massive piece of shit.
You have to pay like $1 per chapter.
Do you know what's even weirder? They come up on Apple Books if you do it. Like some of them do show up on Apple Books, but some of them don't. So, for example, remember that? Because I bought a couple of them. I didn't actually buy this one because the manga is so far behind the anime. But do you remember that one? You were inexperienced. I was.
The experience you and the experience you and the experience me.
Yeah, they put that on Apple Books as the chapels.
You're still fucking reading that?
I just noticed it was there. But they don't put, like, for example, My Dress Up Darling does go on there, like, simulpump, but that does not show up on Apple Books.
I just read everything on my Kindle.
Yeah,
I'm better than you.
I really should get a Kindle now because I haven't got Comixology anymore.
Oh, it's shut down?
Yeah, it shut down. Amazon shut it down. Yeah.
Oh.
If you're looking for, like, to read comic books on, I'd definitely get the Color Soft.
Okay, I'll consider that
because
one.
it's the only one that shows colour.
But that's the point. That's where I think they're going to have an issue. But this does fly back to the point. This is where the issue I think the deal will be. How is the manga licenses that Kadokawa owns and distributes, how is that going to be affected with Sony's acquisition of them?
Yeah.
Because I noticed this showed up a lot more on anime Twitter and news pages than it did on gaming ones. It was then like a day later it said, oh wait, they now own FromSoft.
Yeah. And I've just showed data as well. When Elden Ring first launched, 29% of sales were on Xbox.
29%? That's not insignificant. Like, I know people would say...
It's only a third.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how much... So, presumably then that means like 40% were PS5 and 4 and...
It was like 33 was PlayStation.
33?
For PS5, then 9% for the PS4 version.
What about the PC version? That one presumably took up a lot.
That was lower, that was just around 30.
So that is interesting that it is a bit evenly spread out.
Yeah.
So that could actually affect the deal with the idea of that actually could lower their sales quite significantly because if they don't have an Xbox version to go.
Yeah, that's about 60% of their sales.
I would want. I'll be.
In that case, I feel like if the FTC does get involved, they're definitely going to say, right, From Software games go on other consoles day one.
Yeah, and I was going to say as well, these are only sales after the first month of launch, not recent figures, because we don't have the current breakdown.
Yeah, so for example, but that could, but I imagine that they would have been a very similar distribution.
Yeah.
At the end, I maybe might be slightly skewing towards PC version because some people who get console versions and then buy a PC later, and then they want to see how it, and they want to buy a PC version of a game they do know, so they can really test out how good the PC is.
Yeah, because it's currently sold about 25 million copies for the base game. Shadow of the Oak Tree sold around 5 at the minute.
Yeah.
I imagine that's going to go up by at least another 20 million. I would say Elden Ring might get into the best-selling games of all time list.
Yeah. Especially if they keep making like ports for the next generation of console as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's happened. Another one is a main one. We don't really have to talk too much about this, but Nintendo now completely owns Monolith Soft, which I was also...
They didn't before?
Yeah, that was my point. I was like, wait, you guys didn't own these guys completely? I thought you bought them out completely.
Who else do you publish for Monolith Soft? Fucking Atari 2600s?
No, but it's good. Does that mean they completely own Xenogears and Xenosaga now, or does Square still own a portion of that?
I think Square still have a portion.
Yeah, I think so. Owning the company doesn't entirely mean you own the franchise.
Yeah, because I remember there was a weird thing going on with what's that one that Bandai Namco has a stake in, and so they couldn't release the English dub of a GameCube game when it came to Switch. I think Monolith Soft had a part in it.
Sure, that's all right.
Baton Kaios.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that was a weird thing, because Bandai Namco owns part of the dub. They couldn't put the dub back in because they couldn't work a deal out with Bandai Namco.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool to know, and it's great to see that Monolith Soft are going to have a secure future, considering they've come to the end of Xenoblade Chronicles now, because that DLC does tie the story completely over the entire trilogy together.
And
they'll bring it back.
And in the future, we've just got the new announced port of Xenoblade X.
And they did confirm in Xenoblade Chronicles 4, that they did confirm in the book, the art book, that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 ending did mean that the Gang of 3 did reunite afterwards.
Yeah.
So that was good to get that confirmation. Thank you. I could have used a cutscene of that.
I mean, I guess it's like The Witch from Mercury, where they didn't confirm on screen that Miore and Akiri are together.
Yeah.
They did confirm because they're wearing wedding rings in the final scene.
Okay.
But the higher ups then said afterwards in marketing saying, "Oh no, it was implied. It's not confirmed."
But then
they're only very good friends.
Yeah.
And then Sunrise came out and said, "No, they are married."
Yep. So
it would be like Nintendo saying. It would be like saying Nintendo after that picture from Xenoblade 2. Oh no, they didn't see it on screen. There's no confirmation that Rex fucked them all.
Yeah. But as Cal was saying, the actual staff who works on the anime did an unofficial art book afterwards that showed him with the wedding.
Yeah.
It's just a massive fuck you to the higher ups.
And put it this way, considering some of the art I've ended up coming on my timeline, they could have gone way further with it.
Yep.
Put it this way, I think I don't think Sletta is the dom in that relationship.
No.
Absolutely not. Are you fucking kidding me?
And now it's been confirmed we're getting a new Gundam anime next season.
Yeah.
All I know is Reese.
Please don't rush this one.
All I know is Reese. The one thing I've still not got out of my head is them dubbing over Sletta with Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, yeah.
The things I do for love.
People point out in a minute, the Courage of Gundam have a massive hard-on for red-headed women. Because in the current anime, we've had Soletta, the new main character for G Quacks, as it's now been called in the dub, with a voiceover. She's also redhead.
G Quacks, aren't they all ducks?
Pretty much. And then in the Netflix one, which you guys will have to watch as well for next week, the main character there is also female redheads.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And in the current ongoing manga as well, which is also in the UC timeline, she's also a redhead.
The thing I think we need to talk about is we can't really talk about the Game Awards because by the time this goes out, it will have happened.
Yeah.
So I mean, we can talk a little bit about some of our thoughts on the trailers next month at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
But we never did a podcast of commenting on the nominees. So, do we want to briefly go into that one before we talk about the BAFTAs?
Nah, not much point.
Yeah, not much point. But I will tell you right now.
It's all shit.
No, I like two of the actual not the player's choice one.
It's all shit.
Metaphor's in there.
Like a Dragon isn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say for
also, unlike you, I'm not a filthy fucking weeb.
But one thing that did come out today was the Bafta nominations.
Yeah.
Which was a lot better.
It's a pretty good list. It's 10 nominees at this point. I don't know if this is a short list or if this is the final list.
I should be shortlist for 10.
But the short list is pretty good at the minute. We've got Animal Well, Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, Metaphor ReFantasio, Thank Goodness You're Here, and Warhammer 40,000.
No fucking Like a Dragon again!
So he said, what the hell is Thank Goodness You're Here?
It's a British indie game. It's done to sort of be a homage to Aardman animation.
Right. Because this screenshot was the first I've ever seen of it.
Same.
It apparently, yeah, but you got to remember, the BAFTAs is mainly made to recognise the British industries in each of their fields.
Cal, all three of us are British. 2/3 of us didn't know what it was.
But that's the point. Like, put it this way, the only reason I found out that Vampire Survivors was made by a British studio was because it got nominated for Best British Game at this thing, which incidentally is a category they have.
Yeah.
But
I'm happy Space Marine 2's in there.
yeah, Space Marine 2, that surprised me, because, not that it doesn't deserve it, but...
Absolutely does. Are you kidding me?
I was surprised. But again, you got to remember, unless you're called Nintendo, you have a very hard time being nominated if you're a Japanese game.
Yeah.
But no, apparently, according to this isn't the shortlist. This is the short. This might be shortlist. But some other games that did get nominated that weren't for Game of the Year. Crow Country got nominated for a couple of awards. Diablo 4, Dragon Age: The Veiled Guard. It's a game I've never heard of. Factrio. Rebirth got nominated, but not for Game of the Year.
Wait, Factorio? No, that's an old-ass PC game.
Factorio.
Oh, Space Age is a new spin-off.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Nominated, but not for Game of the Year. It got nominated in some categories. But,
Why is Baldur's Gate 3 up?
I think it's ongoing.
Ah, yeah, evolving.
Harold Halibut. That was a weird one.
Yeah.
Highland Song, no surprise there. Got to highlight the British game industry. Kids World 2. Lego Horizon got nominations. Life is Strange Double Exposure. Little Kitty Big City.
Oh, that's Calvin Wankin.
Yep.
Lamasoft Jeff the Jeff Minter story. Who
Mike,
the fuck is Jeff Minter?
evolving game for Minecraft. Never got nominated. I'm glad that got nominated. That was pretty good. What games moved? Oh, Planet Coaster 2 is nominated.
What for?
Yeah, don't know exactly say here, but it did get nominated. Plucky Squire, that was buggy as hell.
Yeah. Well, Planet Coaster as like best simulation game.
Prince
or
of Persia, Hellblade 2 .
Yeah, Silent Hill 2.
I'm glad I got some. Star Wars Outlaws.
Hey.
Hey, Stellarblade got something.
Oh, thank God for that. Stellar Blade's not got enough nominations at the end of the year. That's a really good game. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Yeah, the V Rising from Vampire Survivors for Evolving Game. Absolutely, the new DLC they've had this year has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, also, I have a bone to pick with all of you game award shows. You have categories for best ongoing game or best evolving game or best DLC or whatever. None of you include Alan Wake 2.
I agree.
The Lake House is fantastic.
Can I also add another one that I disagree? Another one I've noticed here. I agree. Like a Dragon not getting any nominations is
That is bullshit. That game is so good.
Yeah.
But to put it this way, Elliot, if you're a Japanese company, your chance of getting nominated at the BAFTAs are slim to none unless you're called Nintendo.
Yep.
Put it this way, Metaphor is the first Atlas game to even get nominated. That is a crime. Persona 5 got no nominations.
It's been a slow year.
No, 2017.
No, I mean this year.
Yeah. No, I think it's because Metaphor was such a big deal that they had no choice but to not ignore it.
Yeah.
But I would say, in terms of, which is a shame because up until I saw that list, I would say the BAFTAs this year, for once, they kind of nailed it. But they've not. But really, there's a bunch still missing. Like Stellar Blade should be up for Game of the Year. I'm sorry, you could take out Black Ops 6 and put Stellar Blade in there.
No, take out Black Myth Wukong.
I agree. Black Myth Wukong should go.
Take out that. Put in Like a Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Take out Black Myth Wukong and.
Wait, I just realised another game that's not anywhere here. Grand Blue Fantasy. Where the fuck is Relink?
I think Relink came out too early in the year, and a lot of people forgot it, unfortunately. Which is a shame because it is one of the best things I played all year.
It's so fucking fun. Why?
I want more content than to add more content to it.
Yeah.
Balatro getting nominated again, though. We've got to comment on Balatro, I think, because the fact that would be the first time that the BAFTAs and the Game Awards, a single developer-developed game, will be up for Game of the Year. Like, this is one guy who made a game for his mates, and he's up for Game of the Year in multiple publications.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I think it was Famitsu or GameSpot picked Metaphor as their Game of the Year.
I think it was GameSpot.
It was GameSpot, yes, it was. What do you guys think of Balatro being the first single developer nominated game to be nominated for Game of the Year by multiple publications?
I have not played it, but my thought is really? Like, Undertale's right there.
But I will stress to you, mate, it's very addictive. I remember I had a mate, one of my mates from my Pokemon group in Liverpool. They said they put it on their mobile phone to try it out. They lost like 10 hours.
Yeah, mate, you're someone who keeps saying, oh, I don't have time for this and don't have time for that. You still have time to put in 100 hours in Balatro.
I actually, I don't know what my full time is. I think I'm up to like 200 hours. It's a good game for just like an hour when you want to just chill.
And it also doesn't have, they've also got massive gambling addiction.
Yeah, because basically they add an extra level of difficulty to each type of deck you use. So as a result, you beat this deck, but you only have 2 discards, or beat this deck, but you also have one of your jokers gets disabled every so often.
I mean, it's not like I could talk about over 100 hours in Cult of the Lamb now.
Yeah, how many hours? And also how many hours we both got in Vampire Survivors? Like that's a very addictive game, and I'm glad Vampire Survivors is.
In all fairness, I only really play that now when I listen to audiobooks.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through getting all the secret characters now for the Castlevania DLC, which is so good. It's so good.
It's thing I recognise. Childhood.
It's more. It's more than that. They really, for one thing, they added something that the other expansions didn't have: optional boss fights. And really big set piece boss fights as well.
That's good then.
So yeah, and they're all from different Castlevania. They borrowed a lot from the DS Castlevania games because I've noticed a lot of assets reuse of that. Clearly they went to Konami and they just said, "Well, we're bringing out this collection anyway. Here's all the assets we use for that. You knock yourself out."
I mean, it's all right. It's all right. But again, it's getting all those nominations and all that praise. When again, Alan Wake 2 is right there.
Oh, here's the thing. Elliot's now going to have a tough choice when he does Best DLC for our awards next month.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Because you've got to choose between Elden Ring and Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh.
It's not. You fucking know me. You should know which one's going to be my favourite.
Yeah, I know which one's going to win. Let's be honest.
Super Monkey Ball DLC with Hatsune Miku.
Fucking obviously.
Yeah.
Can I say though? Actually, I think.
No! It's gonna be the new characters added to that Tonka Breaker the Slime Isekai Chronicles.
Hey, that's the DLC.
It legit is. We're getting like 3 characters.
I'll be honest, Reese. I've been looking through the categories we have. I've been trying to find a way to get Super Monkey Ball in there because I really enjoyed Super Monkey Ball.
Best platformer?
No, actually,
We don't have platformer.
we don't have best platform.
Which is why we had it.
Yeah, but even then, you wouldn't pick it over Astrobot. Let's be
No,
honest.
true, yeah.
Slight news. Iron is getting a Christmas theme level today.
Yeah.
Best rage bait.
Yeah, to be fair, we raged quite a bit when we played it.
Best raging.
Also,
that will probably be
the one,
Space Marine 2.
the one thing I haven't tried out. So we tell you the one thing I haven't tried out with Vampire Survivors that did get added this year in terms of DLC for our category. Co-op.
Oh yeah.
They added co-op to it, so you can have
Is it couch or online?
Actually, that's a thought. Best ongoing game. Where's Cult of the Lamb?
Yeah, I agree.
They've added co-op play. They've got 2 major updates. Your followers can fuck.
Yeah.
You can breed from them, and the babies are fucking adorable. And actually, something I learned that's actually really cool. two people got married at their booth at a convention.
Oh, really?
And actually got married.
Oh.
Which is, I think it's really fucking cool. They need best community support. They're great.
So, I was saying for an award, if you want to piss off Elliot Moore, do best game from the Like a Dragon studio. They also make Super Monkey Ball. So if you're seeing picking Monkey Ball, Elliot there going, Like a Dragon!
Someone's house is fucking burning down if that happens.
No, so I'll tell you one thing though, as well. I really think, and this is one thing this awards and what already we talked about has come up. When we do our best DLC award, expansion and DLC award, and our thing, any other year I think it would be one of the best years to be doing this category because there'd be so many options in place.
Let's be honest, there's one.
But this year, one amazing one came out, and we just had no choice but to pick it.
Yeah.
Astrobot with speedrun levels.
Oh god, no, definitely not. The last speed level of that is terrible.
Yeah.
In fact, put it this way: when me and Ren get to that point in the stream, we're doing the terrible one first, so we get it out of the way, and I get both the bots, and then that's done, and I can relax and do the other ones because I just have to beat the clock. I don't have to beat your times.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you fuck you for beating all my times.
Hey, get good.
Yeah, not just beating them handedly as well.
Yeah, no, seriously, I spotted it came up on my PlayStation Hub. Reese has beaten your times. Do you want to try it out? I pressed the button. Yeah, I'll give it a go. Beat the times. I thought he'll never notice that.
Yeah.
And then it came up on his time. I immediately took the records back.
Yeah,
It's Clemented. Some call me Johnny with classic City Escape all over again.
It really is. But it's not my fault. As soon as you put the PlayStation on, you get the massive alert saying someone has beaten your time. I'm thinking, right, I'm going to.
And I just said with the last level with that one, I said to you, you can keep it.
Yeah.
You can keep it. I'm never doing this until I go do the stream. I'm never doing this again.
But we should be fair. I also hate that last level because I talked to you about it. It is the worst way to end that game. Having that as the final level.
We're getting more, no doubt. We're getting more speedrun levels.
Well, hopefully in the future, because today we got the Christmas level to take that edge off.
And they have said it is a relaxing level. It's not a
shit level like the last one for the speedrun is.
So
does that mean we could get Santa Bot?
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
Oh, I hope we get Santa Bot. It's gonna be so cool.
Well, Santa ever appeared in a PlayStation game?
Actually, no, Rudolph.
Yeah.
There was a bot dressed as Rudolph.
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to know it until tomorrow our time because of the time it releases in America.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it'll be good to do. I'm looking forward to it. It's the first thing I'm going to do after I wake up. Here's the thing. Apparently though, we'll know when this goes out. Apparently there were meant to, according to a Jason Schreier, there is 2 holy shit announcements that are going to be at the Game Awards.
And both of them are going to be Genshin Impact.
Yeah. Genshin Impact 2.
Oh my god!
And then the Genshin Impact Kart Racer.
I so hope one of those happens so we can tag this on Twitter and say this was. I promise you this was recorded before
it was announced.
It was announced.
It's that time I called a Banjo showed up in Smash before it happens. Remember?
Yes, you did. I said you were nuts for that one. Well, nuts and bolts. Hey.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think it's time to end. And
no, there's still one item left that Ali brought up. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh yes.
Baldur's Gate 3 got a really big update recently.
Well, it's getting a very big update.
Yeah, getting one.
It's going to add crossplay.
It's going to add crossplay. We're getting a bunch of new classes, which was the main thing. I really wanted more subclasses.
Yeah, apparently is it like 12 or something?
1 for each character, yeah. Or for each.
And the thing is, if we're doing the crossplay, unfortunately, if I want to play with you guys, I'm going to have to probably do it on my Xbox because the PlayStation version does not let me link to my Larian account.
Can you just play PC?
I've probably got it on PC, yeah, and I probably prefer it on PC because let's face it, it's made for a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Whereas I got on PS5, so if we ever do like streaming it,
everyone laughing 3, 2, 1. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, so I think it's cool that Baldur's Gate is getting that. It feels like it should have been sooner.
Yeah, I feel like I thought for a bit we weren't actually going to begin an update because Larian's moved on now.
Yeah, but they always keep a couple of developers back.
Yeah.
To do something. It's a way what you often do to train up new developers is you put them on a project like this.
Yeah.
And that way they learn a few things about it and then move on to do something else. It's I think it's pretty cool. I think again it's pretty cool. I'm glad more people are getting. Again, Baldur's Gate 3 for me, it's like one of those. I get why people love it. I completely get the appeal. It doesn't click with me in a certain way. It doesn't quite click.
Yeah.
I know, I enjoy it. It's D&D. I like D&D.
Yeah, no, that's why I say I completely get it. I completely get it, but it just doesn't quite click with me.
You must be joining our future D&D games then.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing. I've only played it single player. I wonder if when we do if we ever do a multiplayer thing of it, would my experience of it improve?
Probably.
Also, dibs on romancing Karlak because she's my favourite.
It's okay, I'm gonna get Asterion. I won my fancy vampire boy.
Well, it depends how romance would work in multiplayer.
You still get interactions with the other characters when you do it.
Yeah, that's the question. Do we all will it still act as if a single player?
It sort of does. It shifts back and forth depending on who starts the conversation. I did play multiplayer. I did play multiplayer with Ren and a couple of our other friends, and I got into trouble very quickly.
Of course.
I didn't realise you weren't supposed to grave rob in the middle of town.
Yeah, you're not. It's D&D. How do you expect the NPCs to act?
I'm not used to games where the NPCs don't react to me looting a body.
It's the one franchise with a morality chart for a reason.
Look, let's not get bogged down with who.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they included chaotic stupid just for Calvin.
Yeah. Chaotic dunce. He gets a special hat.
And on that note, which if we ever had fans would create
It's like like the collar from Ninja Gaiden. When you play on easy mode, he just wears that because he's an idiot.
So on the note of what would make tremendous fan art if we actually had fans, it's time.
Claire, get going.
It's time.
You know what to do, Claire.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back in 2025. We've got 2 in January. We've got our awards show.
Yay!
And we've also got we're going to do a monthly roundup again.
Yep.
Probably at the week after I get back from doing Birmingham regionals.
Yeah.
If you are going there, go see him and throw rotten fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I'll either do that or the week afterwards. It depends when we want, or the week before. It depends when we want to do Anime Amigos Best the Anime of the Year.
Yeah.
Best
of Fall coming on next week. Please watch it. King's Miss is back.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it for once.
Yeah.
Because Alex actually got the hang of it.
Well, not really. Last year was because I panicked.
And you made the best one.
Yeah.
And this one is because I also panicked.
So, thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Just way less effort.
Yeah.
See you soon, guys.
Goodbye, everyone.